and welcome. You have tuned into Market Fatafat on ET Now. I'm Shrishti Sharma and with me is Vinny Motiwala. And viewers, this is the show where we highlight all the counters that are buzzing in trade, either on the back of the technicals or on the back of the news flow. We will connect with our team of researchers as well as our technical analyst in a short while from now. But before that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. So Vinny, in this afternoon trading session, a flattish kind of a trade on the benchmark indices, but a lot of stock-specific action that we are seeing.
Absolutely, a lot of stock-specific action is what we're seeing, and rightly mentioned, nothing exciting coming in from the Nifty as well. Look at the Nifty, flip-flopping between the red and the green, but Nifty was at one point of time below the 19,700 levels. As of now, holding on to a slight bit of that positive side of 19,700. Yes, you can see it clearly, not back in the green territory as well, recovered from the day's lowest point, but yes, very flattish day of trade coming in for the benchmark indices. Broader markets too gave up those gains post 11 that we saw, suddenly a fall that came in the markets, and even the broader markets gave up the gains that they were seeing coming in, but nonetheless they too were holding on and performing a bit better than at least the benchmark indices as well. So Nifty mid cap, Nifty small cap holding on to some bit of the gain on that front as well. Nifty mid cap is holding on to the positive side as well, 0.08% trade gains coming in there. Advanced decline ratio, when you're looking at that, advanced decline ratio more in the favor of declines today than versus the advances that we've seen coming in. And sectors that are holding on to the green today is the Nifty IT, PSU Bank and the banking side. That's holding on to some bit of a gain there. But other than that, none of the sectors are holding on to the green as of now as well. When you look at it in terms of the sector performances, what is down and out in trade? Nifty Auto, Nifty Media and Nifty FMCG, which are seeing clear pressure coming in, and on the top sectoral losers as well. So let's keep an eye out on that one as well. Now, other than that, let's look at some of these individual movers that are coming in on the Nifty 50 today. So in terms of the losers, we have M&M, SBI Life as well as Bajaj Finance, which are seeing sharp fall in trade today as well. While who's holding on to gains is Divi's Lab. That also saw a bit of a fall from the day's highest point. But yes, that was holding on and still holding on to gains of almost 3%. That's Divi's Lab, 2 to 3% as of now. Divi's Lab, that's for y'all. Then Bharti Airtel holding on to gains of more than 1%. Wipro, HCL Tech and ONGC. So, some of these IT names are coming up which are still holding on to gains. And that is what is supporting the growth as well, or supporting the markets as of now, is the Nifty IT that is supporting the markets as of now. But that's how the market shape up is looking like as of now. But like you can see flashing on your screens, Shrishti, the hot news for this week was mainly, and this weekend was in terms of Sam Altman leaving OpenAI, ChatGPT. So that was the concern. But right now what we can see coming in is that Sam Altman maybe will be joining Microsoft, and Greg Brookman also will be joining Microsoft. This is coming in from the agencies, from Satya Nadella of Microsoft. So let's keep an eye out on that. That's the update, one is watching out for as well, because that had created a lot of buzz this weekend, especially coming in over there as well, Shrishti.
Well, yes, Vinny, a very interesting news coming in, because this whole weekend there was some news and the rumors that maybe Sam Altman can go back to rejoin the network. But in a LinkedIn post, Satya Nadella has informed that now these two gentlemen will be joining Microsoft. So very interesting to see, and they will obviously be leading the AI research of Microsoft. Absolutely. So very interesting to see that how Microsoft share reacts today evening.
Absolutely, we'll be interested to see with all these upgrades that are coming in every second, But let's get started with those individual stock movers in trade today. Like most of the movements are most of the individual names that are buzzing in trade. Now, either on the back of technicals or on the back of news flows is what we'll be talking about. So on the technical front, we're joined by Nagaraj Shetti from HDFC Securities. While from the research team, we have Ansh as well as Lisa joining in with us. A very good afternoon to all three of y'all as well. Let me start then with the first stock as always, and that one is Pratap Snacks, right? What a move that we've seen coming in the stock post opening, because there was a block deal that happened. This stock has jumped as much as most in almost 5 years that we've seen for the stock to jump up. As of now, you can see the stock is locked in upper circuit as well. 20% uptick that we're seeing coming in on the stock price as well. Now, what we are understanding furthermore from the sources is that the block deal that happened was around 5.4% strike of change of hands that has happened via a block deal. So what we understand from sources that the Mehta family, who is one of the promoters of the company, are the ones who are the likely sellers, maybe according to sources of this block deal that has taken place today. Market was anticipating maybe Sequoia has sold, but Sequoia is not the seller today. Even the Kumath family is not the seller of the stake as well, nor is the Kumath family looking to sell stake, is what we have understood from the sources. Mehta family is the one who sold the stake. As of September 2023, they held as much as around 13.5% stake in the company. Post the stake sale, if they've sold the stake, then they would hold around 8.2% stake in the company. So yes, on the back of the block deal that has taken place today, we are keeping an eye out on Pratap Snacks. And let's not forget, Mehta family was not an active member in terms of the promoters who are taking part in the day-to-day activities of the company. That's what we've gotten to understand from the sources as well. Let's keep an eye out on the full details that will come out in the evening as well, Shrishti.
Okay, so great move on Pratap Snacks on the back of an exclusive story brought to you by Vinny itself. But moving on then, and let's shift focus to the IT counters. And Nagaraj, Vinny was just highlighting that IT names are buzzing, and you have picked up Mastech from the pack, which is already up 2.5%. But going ahead, how do you see the move in this one?
Yeah, of course. Hi, good afternoon. Mastech has showed some sustainable upside bounce from the higher bottom. What we can observe from the chart itself is weekly charts suggest higher tops and higher bottoms, and technically we believe when such pattern forms, that itself indicates the strength of an underlying. So this uptrend is likely to continue. I'm expecting this stock to break above the immediate hurdle of around 2500 levels very soon. And once it breaks above 2500 levels, around 2750, 2800 could be the next upside target. Next resistance, what we can say, which is a strong resistance, is placed around 2750, 2800 levels, where the stock is likely to move towards that.
Okay, moving on then, and let's shift focus to Indian hotels, which is seen to be buzzing in today's trading session, and that's after the back of a brokerage note by UBS, where they maintained their buy rating on this particular counter, but has gone ahead to hike their target price to 500 rupees now from 410 earlier. What UBS is highlighting is that the threat in their new luxury capacity is overdone now, and the growth drivers have been neglected by the market. So now they are changing their stance to even more positive with the target price hike. What they're also saying is that the market appears skeptical about their occupancy growth amid a surge in the luxury supply, and the analysis suggests that there is limited overlap. Now they remain positive on the overall market supply and the demand balance, but think that the Indian hotels can continue to surprise on the room and the occupancy level going ahead, and they have hiked their FY25 and 26 EPS earnings estimate by 8 to 11%. On the back of this bullish note, we can see Indian hotels, the stock has seen a surge of 2% as of now.
Absolutely keeping an eye out on Indian hotels, but another stock that has been buzzing in trade this week, Shrishti, is PB Fintech, right? In the last 1 week, the stock has given a return of almost 11%. An overall 6-month story also seems better, especially the last 1 month has been seems like 1 month is at least quite exciting. Nagaraj, on the charts, PB Fintech, more excitement expected here.
Yes, of course, last 1 month it has witnessed amazing upside bounce from the lower levels, in fact from the higher bottoms, and currently placed at the edge of upside breakout around 825 to 830 levels. The overall chart pattern is looking positive, and immediate supports like 10 and 20 week EMA are intact. The RSI pattern is also intact, and stock is moving along with the rise in the volume itself. So I'm expecting this stock to witness a decisive upside breakout around 825 to 830 levels, currently trading around 829. And next resistance to watch after the upside breakout could be around 900 level, which is to be taken out in the near term.
Okay, moving on, and let's focus to NMDC. Lisa, coming to you for the first counter. You have picked up NMDC. Tell us why is that so?
Right, so NMDC is in focus because Citi has released a note on NMDC, and they have highlighted the near-term outlook on the iron ore prices going forward. So according to Citi, they say that near-term iron ore price that can be at around $120 per ton, and it can also have an upside potential of $130 per ton. Now this will be on the back of a potential catalyst, as well as the supply risk arising from strike operations at the BHP operations. Now, NMDC's fine prices, that is at 20% discount to the export parity, and the prices have a headroom to increase by another 1,000 rupees per ton. But the actual increase, it won't be as much as expected because of the domestic prices, which has some downside risk. And even the management, they have not shown any clarity on the trends, and they have remained non-committal about it. So while the global prices that has remained resilient, the domestic prices have been a bit of a dampener. So talking about the valuations, according to Citi, they have reiterated a buy on NMDC at 3.8 times on EV/EBITDA multiple. Now, mind you, this is much lower than what the global peers are highlighting at around 4.5 to 6 times multiple. So yes, NMDC is in focus on the back of the note coming in from Citi.
Okay, on the back of a brokerage note, we're keeping an eye out on NMDC. But on the technicals, Nagaraj, how is Dodla Dairy looking, right? Because we've seen a very good run-up coming in the stock in the last 6 months. But today specifically, the stock is seeing a decline. So does this indicate anything in terms of maybe one should start booking out their profits now?
Yeah, currently placed at the resistance, and I'm not expecting any bigger reversal as of now. Around 850, stock is reacting slightly, has reacted slightly downwards in the last half an hour, and I'm expecting this stock to take support around 800 to 780 levels, which is going to be a strong support as per the 50% ratio of the previous candle. So overall, this pattern is looking positive. We have seen a decisive upside breakout of the larger triangle pattern, and this 850 is going to be taken out gradually on the upside.
Okay, moving on then, and let's focus to Oberoi Realty, because this is one of the news buzzers for today. And Ansh, this is the counter that you've picked up. Tell us about the acquisition of new land and what does it mean for the counter?
Right, so stock was actually up over 4% in trade today, but right now it is 1% up, still holding on to some gains despite of market volatility. So company has said to the exchanges that they are acquiring a 14-acre land parcel in Gurugram for around 597 crore. This strategic move is set to mark company's entry into NCR region into real estate. The focus will be on developing a luxury residential group housing project over here. This project is expected to cover an expansive 2.6 million square feet of developable area. Also, if we see the chart, stock has touched record high and it has been advancing for 4th consecutive session now. In addition to that, stock trades above 50, 100 and 200 DMA.
Okay, so stock trading today was trading at one point of time at the record high levels as well. So surely keeping an eye out on Oberoi Realty. But let's move on and talk about Cyient. Then Nagaraj, what is the view in terms of the charts over here?
Yes, Cyient has been in an amazing strong upside rally over the last 6-7 months and continuously moving up without showing any reasonable downward correction. Previously, we have seen some consolidation movement, range-bound action, and that range-bound action has been taken out in the last couple of weeks by taking the support of 10 and 20-week EMA. So overall chart pattern is very strong. I'm expecting this stock to reach up to the next overhead resistance of around 2,000 levels very soon, at least in the next few weeks.
Okay, keep an eye out on those levels for Cyient. That was Cyient that we were talking about, not so keeping an eye out on Cyient. But let's move on and talk about DreamFolks. Why is DreamFolks in focus today? Now, this airport and travel service aggregator has actually announced its foray into Malaysia as well, and this is marking a significant entry and milestone for the company as well in terms of its global expansion strategy that the company has. Now, overall, the company will provide technology as a service to the partners at 3 of the airports. That's going to be Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Kota Kinabalu Balu International Airport, as well as Kuching International Airport. And the technology solutions is expected to drive the increased footfalls to the lounges and increasing the efficiency as well as improving customer experience as well. On the back of this, we saw a sharp spike up coming in DreamFolks, but as of now, subdued trades of gains coming in here, almost 5/10 to 6/10% of a gain coming in for the stock today.
Okay, moving on then, let's shift focus to MFSL, that is Max Financial Services. And Nagaraj, this is the counter on your radar. And also in the past 6 months, the stock has already seen a surge of close to 40%. Tell us, how is this looking right now to you?
Yeah, the overall chart pattern of Max Financial Services Limited, MFSL, is looking positive. In the previous last 7-8 months rally, we have seen a couple of very good technical patterns like bullish flag type patterns, and eventually this pattern has led to our uptrend continuation pattern for these stocks over the last few months. Currently, last 2-3 months, it has been in a consolidation phase, showing a minor decline from the higher levels, as compared to its recent sharp upside movement, and placed at the hurdle of around 940, 950 levels, which comes to a downsloping trend line. And by looking at the whole chart pattern, and RSI itself is indicating that this could eventually result in an upside breakout of this 940, 955 hurdle, and this MFSL could eventually move towards 1050 level, which is the next strong resistance for the stocks as of now.
Okay, surely keeping an eye out on that. But let's move on and Lisa talk about SBI Cards today. Why is that one in focus? What's the news, Freya?
Right, so it's on the back of a brokerage report by Morgan Stanley. They have an overweight on the stock at a target price of 950 per share. Now, 950 is quite close to their 52-week high of around 933. Now, what are they saying in the report is that the impact of the RBI measure on the Tier 1 ratio, that is not likely to constrain the business going forward. And also the impact on the cost of funds, that is quite manageable for SBI Cards. Because the growth in receivables compared to the industry as well as its own history, it's quite lower, and so they see a lower risk of slowing unsecured credit growth compared to the other NBFCs and the other financial companies are falling much sharply than the peers. So yes, on the back of this, we can see SBI Card is surging in trade today. It's up around 2%, and it has outperformed the benchmark indices as well.
Okay, moving on then, let's focus to LT Foods, because this particular counter is seeing no stopping, Nagaraj, sitting at its all-time high level. And after that recent breakout, which are the targets that you are looking out on LT Foods?
Yes, absolutely said, without any stopping. And we have seen consolidations, range-bound actions in between during its upside rally, which itself is indicating a strength of the upside momentum for the stocks, the limited decline and more upsides. So having more above 180, 85 levels, currently trading around 214 levels, I'm expecting this to reach towards the next resistance of around 230 in the next 1 month.
Okay, 230 maybe in the next 1 month for LT Foods coming in. But moving on, let's shift focus to Talbros Autos then, a stock which is locked at an upper circuit of 20% today. And once again, a counter seeing no stopping, because this counter is at its all-time high level. A sharp surge that we have seen throughout this year on Talbros Auto, and another positive news flow coming in, where the company announced that today they have received multi-year orders worth 580 crores, which includes exports order of rupees 415 crores. In this 580, 270 crores is including the multiple EV orders that the company got from leading OEMs, and the orders are to be executed over the next 5 years. That will be commencing from FY25 onwards. And they have also told the categories that they have got this new order form. That includes product lines like gaskets, heat shields, forging, chassis, as well as rubber hoses. So these are the segments that the company has gone ahead to get new orders. It includes the EV as well as the export orders forms a major chunk, and the company is quite confident that going forward, when they start commencing and going ahead with these order inflows, the margins are also expected to improve. That's why we are seeing no stopping on Talbros Auto for today.
Okay, no stopping on Talbros Automotive as well. But let's move on, talk about Nosil then. And Nagaraj, this has not started its up move, right? Remained quite flat, whether you look at a 6-month chart or a 1-year chart. Nothing exciting that has come out so far. So now Nosil, where do you see it headed? Should we expect a rally to start for this one?
Yeah, some kind of a pattern is unfolding in this, like a triangle type pattern is unfolding over the last 7-8 months in Nosil, and we have seen some symmetrical movement towards the upper range and lower range of the pattern. Currently, this Nosil has placed at the upper range around 240 to 42 levels, reacted down, and overall chart pattern is indicating that eventually, after the formation of consistent higher bottoms, this stock is poised for a decisive upside breakout. Currently showing some consolidation, 2% cut from the higher levels, and I'm expecting this to break above 242 levels, 242 to 245 levels, which is the next set of resistance as a triangle pattern. And once it breaks above that 245, then next resistance would come around 265 levels in very soon period of time.
Okay, surely keeping an eye out on Nosil over there on those levels as well. But let's move on and talk about ESAF, Small Finance Bank, a newly listed company. They reported their numbers over the weekend when you look at it. And in terms of what we're seeing, the net interest income on a year-on-year basis saw a growth of around 36%. Profits also 141% growth, coming in at 140 crores versus just 58 crores. So almost more than doubling in terms of the profits of the company as well. Provisions of the company, they have remained at 101 crore versus a 134 crore last year. And when you look at the GNPA, it seems like a bit of a deterioration in the GNPA because 2.65% versus 1.65% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. But when you look at it on a year-on-year basis, the asset quality seems to have improved for the company. Quarter-on-quarter basis seems a bit of a deterioration on that front. But other than that, let's also listen into what the management had to say about the company in terms of the targets going forward as well. We managed to speak to K. Paul Thomas, MD and CEO at ESAF Small Finance Bank, in terms of cost uptakes, cost of fund. What are they expecting on that front? Listen in.
Already our cost of fund has increased to 7%. Because the repricing is of deposits is happening. So we are expecting maybe 10 to 15 basis point further increase on that. I think the provisioning we have 70% PCR now, so we will maintain that levels in the coming quarters also. So that is our expectation. And there are little bit cyclical issues, but the credit cost remains at a 2.2 to 2.5% level. Will continue to remain. That's our hope.
Okay, but moving on, let's shift focus to Divi's lab then. And Nagaraj, this particular counter is holding so strong in today's trading session, is holding gains of over 2% now. Tell us how the chart's looking like for Divi's lab.
On the long-term charts, Divi's lab is looking positive. If you look back around 2020, 21, 22, this stock was in a sharp downtrend. And after that, after the formation of around bottom of 2740 in the month of March and April 2023, this stock has witnessed an amazing upside moment. Recently has formed a higher bottom, and this higher bottom, higher top formation after a severe downtrend itself is indicating the shift of the momentum from the downtrend to uptrend. So I'm expecting this to reach up to the immediate resistance of around 3850 levels, and eventually we could see a decisive upside breakout of 3850 in the near term.
That's the level that one should keep an eye out for Divi's lab. But Nagaraj, a very interesting stock that you picked out is ITI Limited, right? What an up move that the stock has seen. Just in the last 6 months, 161% return is what the stock has managed to give. Today also the stock is just trading away up and away, and trade up 7% today as well. And specifically this up move has started from August for the company in terms of the stock move. What's the view now on ITI? Where do you see it headed?
Yes, it has witnessed an excellent up move. What we can observe, a bullish pattern like bullish flag type pattern and a sharp upside momentum. We have seen an upside breakout of 125, 150 has eventually led to the stock reaching up to a 300 level, multifold gains. Currently, after showing a consolidation pattern, a minimum decline as compared to its rises, now it has again set to move up today. So this is the current chart pattern. I'm considering the upside breakout of the bullish flag and move above 280, 85 levels to take this towards the recent all-time recent high or a resistance of around 330, 335 levels in the next 1 month soon.
Okay, but Nagaraj, once again coming to you because we want your take on GSK Pharma, one more pharma counter that you have picked up, and the pharma counters are surely showing some strength today. How specifically, what's your take specifically on GSK Pharma then?
Yeah, Glaxo, in the other name, it is called Glaxo. If you look at the Glaxo, recently it has witnessed a severe decline from the high of 1560, 1580 levels. And what we can observe over the last 3 weeks is a significant upside momentum. It has retraced the previous 7-8 weeks of decline in 3 weeks. That itself is indicating the very strong momentum on the board. Even though the declines, the way it moves is far better than the pace of the decline. So I'm expecting the overall outperformance to continue for this Glaxo, and 1750 is going to be the next resistance to be watched in the near term.
Surely keeping an eye out on Glaxo and those levels over there as well. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break, viewers. Don't go anywhere, because after the break, we'll be back with more stocks which are passing in trade as well.